and welcome to Two Cousins, One Chat. I'm Kristy, and just like the intro says, Ben and I are cousins. Yep, that's right, we are first cousins. Ben is located in Adelaide and I'm here in Melbourne. And we love a good chat, and we chat about pretty much everything and anything, but you know what, it's always got a bit of a fun vibe. So before we crack on with the podcast, let's welcome my beautiful co-host and wingman, plus he's also celebrating his birthday. Hello, Ben.
Hello, thank you. Yes, receiving your warm birthday wishes from the other side of Neil. How you going, Kristy?
I'm going really good. It's good to see you, Ben, and happy birthday from me and all of our listeners. You know, we've got everyone in the world wishing you the kindest, most wonderful birthday regards.
That is lovely, and it is literally my birthday, and I've had a really nice day so far. I like to keep things very simple on birthdays. I don't need, lots of fanfare and all of that sort of thing. So it's been quite easy. We had chicken and chips for lunch. I mean,
I love
how
that.
low key, and we had them delivered to the house. So that's how low key we were. And Sarah organised a cake. She asked me what sort of cake I wanted, and I said, the cheesecake shop cold cheesecakes with the red jelly jam type stuff on top.
Yum. Yep.
Yeah. Oh, so good.
I know that. I would always go for ice cream cake. I love ice cream cake, but the cheesecake with the red jelly on top is beautiful. Oh, I hope you enjoyed that, Ben. Did you sing happy birthday?
Yeah, there was some happy birthday sung, and my son's 10, and so he sort of sings it very low key. So I was watching him, and it's kind of like when I was a kid and had to sing. Mum would make me sing in church, and you go like, it was really funny, but it was very nice. Yeah. Well, so it was a nice. It's been a nice day. It's been really good.
On you.
Yeah, I've said nice a lot, but it has been
nice. Hang on, I'm going to press start the timer. Okay, now we're cracking.
We're going to stay on task today, people.
We are 30 minutes, but I know your birthday is Saturday, the 23rd of November.
Yes.
But my birthday is Boxing Day, and I've got a race meet for my birthday at the annual Nil races.
Yeah, that's right.
Boxing Day, and then I've got a test match at the MCG in honour of my birthday,
of course.
and also the Sydney to Hobart boat race.
Oh yes, yeah. And do you hand over the cup again this year? Have you agreed, or are you just logistics are a bit of an issue sometimes? I know, but
sometimes I'll send a proxy. My stand-in.
Kirsty.
Yeah, Kirsty. But it's excellent to see you. And how cool is this? We're recording on your birthday, so happy birthday to you from all
it's
of our
nice.
listeners.
It's so good having a birthday on a Saturday. I mean, Father's Day is always on a Sunday, guaranteed. So lock it in. Sunday, Father's Day. But birthdays, it changes every year. So it's lovely to have a birthday on a Saturday. So today's episode is called You Know You're in Melbourne When, or You Know You're in Adelaide When. And we're going to bust some myths and preconceptions about our own hometowns. So we all have those ideas of what makes a particular city or town unique that we might not live in. It could be London, New York, Paris, whatever. But we're going to do Adelaide and Melbourne. So, Kristy, you've come up with a few, let's say, myths or cliches about Adelaide that you're going to put to me, and I'm going to bust some myths, and I've got some from Melbourne as well. That maybe you can bust some myths for me, and this will be good for those that want to learn a bit more about Adelaide and Melbourne, because Melbourne, if you're listening, you'll know everyone knows Melbourne. It's an international city, very well known. Adelaide is a lot smaller, and so people might not know as much about Adelaide. So it gives us a chance to learn more about my hometown that I love dearly.
From a visitor's perspective, right? So
absolutely.
I've been to Adelaide many, many times, and half the family's there, so quite often, go back to Adelaide. And whenever I go to Adelaide, I always feel like, it's so much warmer here. Like it's warmer, and it doesn't get as cold, but it gets heaps hotter. I know that, but I always feel like when I come to Adelaide, it's like whether it's in the winter or the summertime, it just feels hotter. And like you're right, it's drier. There's that real dry heat.
Oh yeah,
So
that's true. Yeah.
I think this is a fact. I'm not busting any myths here.
No, you're just informing people. That's
Yeah.
true.
So if
It
you're
is hot
looking to go
here.
to,
Yeah.
yeah.
I think we're the driest state in the driest continent. I mean, I'm
Is that
lucky that I'm
right?
even drinking water. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Let's tell,
Yeah.
water. I mean, water used to be kind of not as clean as that you're drinking
No,
right
there was a
now.
myth about Adelaide water being terrible, but yeah,
And I think
it's
like maybe over 50 years ago or something, there were
yeah, that's right.
the water wasn't as clean as it is now, but we do have the best drinking water in the world here in Australia. Another thing is the traffic. There's
Hmm.
the the smallest amount of traffic. It's quick and easy to get around, and it's easy to get from A to B, and everything's just at a really cruisy pace.
Yeah, there's a bit of myth busting there because yes, there's less traffic and our peak hour is not as intense, and you can get through the city from one end to the other quite easily, but it depends on the time of day. If you're
Mhm.
trying to get anywhere, in those classic peak hour times, then traffic is bad and it's getting worse and worse.
Right.
So they're trying to do this north-south expressway thing, and most of it's done. But now they've got this section right in the suburbs that they have to tunnel under, and it's going to cost billions of dollars. And this Torrens, down to Darlington, like way down south, it's sort of digging way on. It's massive. So yeah, the traffic is way worse than it used to be, and you still get stuck in traffic. But compared to other cities and other places, it's pretty easy to get around.
Mm.
Yeah. So
When
that's
I
a
was
half
half
true.
myth, and
Yeah.
when I was there earlier this year, the freeway system worked and it was
Yeah.
beautiful, and
Yeah,
getting
it
right
does.
down south took no time. So we were
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
screaming along at 120 on the
Yeah.
freeway
Of course.
in a hurry.
Yeah.
But another thing, I can always tell if somebody's from Adelaide or Perth, even because of the
Mm.
slight accent.
Oh yeah, we have an accent. Yeah. In fact, when I used to live in Melbourne, there it is, Melbourne, not Melbourne. That's the accent there. We sort of we swallow up our L's. So instead of saying Melbourne or Melbourne, we'll say Melbourne, like Melbourne. We come
Yeah,
really
right.
hard around that L. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so when I lived in Melbourne, people thought I was English. People thought I was from England. They're like, "Oh, are you from England?" No, because we speak a bit more plain and a bit less kind of like
Okay. Yep.
Melbourne kind of. We go
See
Melbourne,
Ben's face
Melbourne,
while he's enunciating.
Melbourne. Yes,
Yeah.
so that's true. We do have there is an Adelaide accent,
And I can
absolutely.
always pick it because I've got an ear for it.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's
I can
right. And
hear it.
I have things that I say with a Melbourne twang because I was there for a few years and they've just
Yeah.
stayed with me when I speak. Some things do come out a bit Melbourne-y.
Yeah. Another
Yeah.
thing I always notice, and I know I'm in Adelaide when I see those concrete Stobie poles. They are the
They are,
funniest thing ever.
yeah, and they are. So Stobie poles, look them up, people. Google them. They are actually the poles that hold up our distribution electricity network. And yeah, they're basically two pieces of steel with concrete in between them, and you can do tours of the pole yard where they're made. You
Are you
can.
serious?
They
How
did it
cool
during the
is
history
that?
festival. Yeah,
Hey
and it's
Ben, that would
sold
be
out.
cool.
Yeah, in fact, well, I used to work for the organisation that makes them, and
Oh,
so I did go to the pole yard quite a few times. But yeah, they're mate. Everything comes off second best on the Stobie pole.
oh
They are
yeah.
just indestructible. Well, they're not completely indestructible, but
Okay.
they're
Yeah.
very solid. So where you would have pine poles for your electricity network,
Yeah.
we have the Stobie poles. They're a quintessential Adelaide thing. In fact, maybe on the socials for this episode, we can share a photo of a Stobie pole.
I would
And
love
people
that.
paint
Yeah.
them because they kind of get a bit ugly. So
Yeah.
artists will paint a whole series in a street or a
Oh,
suburb or main streets,
I'm going to check that out.
get
Does
them
it look good?
painted, and yeah, it looks great. A lot of main streets now are putting the poles, the electricity network underground because it's a
Oh
lot
yeah.
neater. It looks much more beautiful, and so a lot of the Stobie poles are missing from those main streets,
Ah,
country towns and all that. But in the suburbs, I literally have a Stobie pole in my front yard, in my
yeah.
front verge. So yeah, they're everywhere.
Have
Yeah.
you painted yours in
No, I
St Kilda
haven't actually.
colours?
Yeah.
Go Saints.
No.
You wouldn't do that.
Oh, no. Why
Another
am I
thing,
drinking water on this
I don't
episode?
know, you got dehydrated on
Mm,
your birthday.
so hot. Mm.
Um, and another thing, I always know I'm in Adelaide when I see those beautiful sandstone building and
Yeah,
houses. Oh my
yeah,
God, it's so beautiful. It's
yeah.
just iconic Adelaide. And down along the coastline, where's along the beach down
The
there?
West Coast, like Glenelg, Henley,
Oh,
Grange, West
stunning.
Beach.
And the
Yeah.
beaches along there are just so beautiful and so close to the city. And so is the airport. Like,
Yeah.
if you want to you can get a bus to the airport. I don't know if they have a train to the airport, but
No,
it's just so close. You can see the city from the airport. It's
you
just
can.
right there. Yeah.
It's
So,
it's it's a 10-minute drive from the city to
right.
the airport, which is
Yep.
so good. And I think Adelaide Airport won best airport in the country.
Did it?
Again,
Oh, it's
yeah.
a
It's
ripper.
such a good airport. It's
It
such a good
is.
airport. But
Yeah.
our beaches, the beaches in South Australia are stunning.
So
Doesn't matter
good.
where you go, Eyre Peninsula, York Peninsula, the sort of the metro, but all of those beaches right along all the way, like we're talking from Glenelg and beyond even, and then right down to Largs and Haven, those west coast beaches, but then down south to Aldinga and Silver Sands, and then to Middleton and Victor. The beaches, which are very accessible, are stunning, absolutely stunning. Yeah.
Beautiful. So, so
Mm.
lovely. And finally, this is my final topic. I know I'm in Adelaide when I see half the population gnawing on a log of bung frits.
Oh yeah, we just eat it like, yeah. Everyone's got a bung fritz in their hand. Yeah, yeah. Oh yeah,
I just
love
love
our
frits
fritz.
and the apricocks from Hague's.
There's apricots from Hague's, but they're a rip-off of Fruchocks, which is the
Oh,
men's
you're
the men's MENZ.
oh,
Fruchocks are the originals, but yeah,
mm,
Hague's is a South Australian chocolate company, and
yeah.
their chocolate is, I think, the best. I
Oh,
just love it.
so good. Love it.
So
Freckles.
good.
I always
Mm.
go the Hague's freckles. Yeah, so the bung frits, I just love it. Slice it
Bung
up as
Fritz.
thick as you like, or as thin as
Oh,
a bit of tomato sauce, white bread
oh yeah.
sandwich. Are you being
Oh,
sick?
yeah, no, I'm just thinking about the amount of
Yum.
Fritz that we consume. But I mean, I grew up on Fritz and sauce sandwiches. That was my
Yep.
lunch pretty much. It was either Fritz and sauce or apricot jam and cheese every day. That was pretty much my lunch. Yeah.
Apricot jam and cheese.
On sandwiches, yeah.
Wow, that's an interesting combo.
I know. See, to me, it was just so normal. And when I
Yeah.
hear people, a lot of people go, "Oh, gross." It's like, hang on, that's what I grew
Well,
up with.
I guess
But
it's no like peanut butter and jelly. That's jam, whatever. Yeah.
exactly. But when Dad comes over to Adelaide, the amount of Fritz that we consume, because we like to make sure if Dad's coming to stay that there's definitely Fritz in the fridge when he gets here.
Yeah.
And when he gets here, yeah, the first thing we do, we cut up some Fritz in like real
Yum.
chunks, and
Yum.
tomato sauce, and we just stand there and we just inhale this
Yeah.
Fritz. It's
Yeah.
just, we don't generally get it, but we get it when Dad's here, and it's so good. Yeah. And usually there's a bit of a tail, like he goes and then we'll end up getting it for another couple of weeks. And then
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
it comes back. Yeah. Oh yeah, Fritz. Everyone just munging on Fritz constantly.
So
Constantly.
they were my things about. I know I'm in Adelaide when I
Yeah.
have all these things, happen. So, what about you, Ben? You tell me when you're in Melbourne.
Well, look,
Like,
there's a thing about Melbourne that everyone wears black. Is that
mhm.
true, or is that just a myth?
No, it's
Do
pretty
lots of
much
people
true.
wear black? Yeah, lots of
Yeah,
people do wear black.
yeah.
Okay, yeah.
It's the
It,
uniform,
black is the uniform.
and there's
Yeah,
different types of black. So you might have like your black pants, and then your black jacket, and then like a lighter black top. So everything's black. So
yeah.
there is a lot of black, and
Okay,
that's not a myth. That's just an absolute fact. So yeah, heaps of black.
and you actually did answer this one before, but it rains a lot. It rains a lot, or they talk about Melbourne having 4 seasons in one day. So it's
Fact.
hot, it's cold, it rains, it's windy.
Yeah,
It's all over the place. That's true too?
that
Yeah,
is an absolute fact. So,
yeah,
and even when my brother was here, Brad, it was really obvious because we were talking about this, and it's like it's true. It's like today it was boiling hot this morning, and now it's like it'll drop. I don't know what the temperature is now, but it'll drop, and it does happen regularly. It'll be pouring with rain. Oh, last week I did some training in the city. It was freezing. I was so underdressed because it was going to be 20 degrees. It was going to be hot, and then it was freezing cold, raining, and then by the time I got home, it was bright blue sunshine and super hot.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
absolute fact. Yep.
That's true. What about the famous Nilex clock that Paul Kelly sings about?
Yeah.
Is that still around?
Still around. It's not
Is it really?
working. Yep, it's on
Oh,
Punt Road, so it's
yeah, right.
high
That's
on the
right.
hill overlooking the MCG.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Mm.
it's on Punt Road, and basically it's an icon. They've been talking about it forever of because it's an old like silo or something that
Yeah.
an Alex clock is on top. But they were thinking about having artists having workshops there and having residents there. But anyway, it's
Oh,
still
right.
there. The clock isn't working, but it's an absolute Melbourne icon, and it should be lit
Ah.
up. I wish it was.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Another one is that Melbourne is a walking city. So lots of people are walking. There's lots of walking happening. They talk about Melbourne being a walking city or the walking city.
Oh,
Would you
okay.
say that
Yeah,
there's
I
more
would.
people
Yeah,
walking?
I'd say that, and particularly walking around the Tan, the botanical gardens,
Oh,
or
yeah.
any on the bike tracks. They're bike and walking tracks. So people do walk a lot, and I see it
Okay.
all the time along Beach Road, along all the walking paths. So yeah, and around the city. So if you can't catch a tram, you'll just you know walk,
Just
hoof it.
walk.
Yeah,
Well, and there's the Fitzroy Gardens and Carlton Gardens, which are very close to each other and actually not that far from the city.
they're beautiful, aren't
And
they?
they're stunning. And we did walk through all of those gardens from the sporting precinct
Yeah.
where the MCG is. We walked through to Carlton. I think we
Oh
met you and a
wow.
whole bunch of people. And I had Reed in the Baby Bjorn thing in
Oh
the front
right.
of
Oh, a
me,
long
or
time ago.
maybe, or
Oh yeah,
yeah,
right.
ages ago. Yeah, we walked for kilometers and kilometers. So I thought, I wonder if that was just us or if people just tend to go, you know what, we're just going to cut across the city through all the gardens and
Well,
you
you
know,
can definitely do that. Yeah,
yeah,
it's
right,
easy
okay.
to walk around. So if you come in at Flinders Street Station, you can walk one side of the Yarra down towards the tennis centre, then go over the bridge to the MCG, walk through the gardens there, and come back along Birrong Ma into the city.
Yeah, right. Okay.
Your face
Now,
just froze. That's all right. You're
oh,
back.
okay. Sorry
Yeah.
about that. Hey, another thing is that in Melbourne, we know, of course, that Neighbours is filmed. The outside scenes are filmed in Melbourne, in the suburbs of Melbourne, and also Kath and Kim was filmed in the suburbs of Melbourne. So, does everyone know the street where they film Neighbours? Could you find that street? Have you been there?
Yeah, I have been there, and it's
Have
out
you?
near. Yeah, I
Oh,
have
wow.
been there. It's out, Nunawading Way,
Oh, okay.
um, and actually it's probably not Nunawading, and Kath and Kim was filmed in Patterson Lakes and all around the southeastern suburbs here. So in
Okay.
some episodes of Kath and Kim, you can see them driving along the Pean Highway past, where IKEA used to be and Southland. So yeah, and they filmed inside Southland, so which is local to where I live. So
Did they?
yeah,
Is that where they filmed?
yeah,
Yeah.
they filmed and also out at Fountain Gate.
Fountain Lakes,
Yes.
Fountain Gate.
So
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
they filmed a lot of it around here. And in fact, the house that Kath and Kim was filmed in has just been demolished. So it's down at Patterson Lakes.
Oh,
Yeah. So it made the news. So
oh, that's so sad.
yeah. So then
Oh,
also around South Melbourne, because I know they did some of the dancing scenes in a pub, with Tony Martin.
oh yeah,
When
yeah.
and when
Yes. He
they were
hooked up
doing
with Sharon Strzelecki. Yeah.
Bash Rash.
Yeah.
So yeah, most definitely. And Neighbours was filmed. Maybe it's Croydon. It's in the outer suburbs. So yeah,
Wow.
you can
Okay.
do a
Well,
bus tour out there anytime.
I thought you were going to say no. I have no idea, but you were quite informed about all of that. That was incredible.
Yeah, yeah, for
Fun.
sure.
Yeah. And are people like we're a two-team town when it comes to the AFL, which is Australian rules football? Are people just obsessed with AFL? That's what I see. It just makes the news all year round.
Yeah,
There's multiple TV shows. It's always in
constantly.
the
Yeah,
papers. People are always just obsessed with football.
yeah. There's a bit of a breather between the end of the season and the start of the season, but this past week we've had the trade. We've had
Mm.
new rookies being recruited, all the trade swaps, and all the new kids getting recruited to their clubs. What do they call those?
Draftees.
Draftees, that's it. So
Yeah.
anyway, it's been on the news constantly. What's your team? Go through all the teams. So yeah, it is like a religion in Melbourne, and as soon as it gets, and we've got AFLW happening at the minute, so the big final today, and then the grand final will be next week. So there's been lots on AFLW, so that gets lots of airtime as well. But the AFL men's, as we call it, as soon as it starts coming around to March before the first match, yeah, there's a bit of a buzz happening. So there'll be practice matches, and we're close to Moorabbin, so go and watch some of the Saints have some of their practice matches. Look, it's
Mr.
Chris.
Martin.
He's
Jeez, he
just
was here recently.
yeah, he's in Melbourne.
Yeah, wow. I
Along
would love
with,
to go to a Coldplay concert.
do you know what? I just had an awesome idea, and I met up with one of our regular listeners and also sports contributors to Two Cousins One Chat, Dr. Paul Bowell,
Oh,
and
fantastic.
he has been to such a range of concerts this year. Pearl Jam.
Mm.
Oh, I think he went to Coldplay. He
Yep.
went to Taylor Swift. So I reckon we get him on to do a concert review.
That'd be what a great idea. And he wears sort of like Aussie coloured t-shirts as well.
Yeah, he
I've
did.
noticed on the
Yeah.
socials.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, he's awesome, Dr. Paul Bowell. I know you're listening.
He
Hey,
is.
Paul.
He's a lovely guy. Yeah.
So, yes, most definitely, it is obsessed with sport in general. So it'll come in waves. So we're the cricket will be starting. It's already started. First test is in WA at the minute, and then they'll come to Boxing Day for the Boxing Day test, which 110,000. It'll be sold out, and then we lead right into the Australian Open, and
Yep.
then the footy starts. The AFL men's starts
Crazy.
in March, whatever it is.
Yeah, well, we've got some cricket here in early December. I think I'm not into the cricket, but I helped my father-in-law get tickets.
Did you? Oh, you're a good
before I came on
son-in-law.
air.
Yeah,
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, look, I do
Yeah.
what I can. I
You
do what I
do,
can.
yeah.
I can never repay
Helping the
them.
elderly.
Absolutely, that's what I was saying before.
Were
My
you?
mother-in-law was helping my mum with the phone, and I'm like to my mother-in-law, "You got to help the elderly."
Yeah, good job.
So, Christabel, I have this book here, which is called Adelaide Remember When? The Boomer Stories. Now, Sarah got this. Oh, actually, maybe it's a potential gift for Mum, so I better keep it quiet. And it's kind of slightly used now, but we're going to do a vault on this because this is some absolute gold. There's two of them. There's this one and another one.
What's the book about, Ben?
It's just Adelaide stuff from Adelaide, and you know what? It's just got. I remember some stuff, but it's some of the old shopping centres, some of the old things people used to do when things like the Festival Theatre were built and all that sort of stuff. So I just found a couple of really random ones, and this is for the
So it's a
Adelaide
history of Adelaide and like funny anecdotes and stuff, is it?
Yeah, but it's like
Stories?
it's from sort of from the 50s onwards. It's not,
Okay.
this one's not like way back. But a couple of quick ones are the West End Brewery Christmas lights. Have you ever heard
Right.
about them?
No, I
Yeah,
haven't.
no. The West End Brewery's gone now. They've knocked it down. They're building housing. You know, it's prime real estate. It's a fantastic spot. But they're still doing the lights. So there's like this garden that's sort of sunken down off the road. And as kids, you'd go at night. You know, you might go in your pajamas after you'd had a bath, kind of thing. You'd
Yeah.
go and watch all the little displays, and they're all moving displays and stuff. So if you're an Adelaidean, you will 100% know the West End Brewery Christmas lights, and I think they're doing them again this year.
Oh, how
They're going to
lovely.
continue to do them, even though the brewery itself is no longer there.
She
And the
gone.
second one, so it's gone. So I
She gone.
randomly picked two things.
Yep.
I was like totally random. The second one is Mr. Keith Conlon, who I know. I actually know Keith Conlon. So if you are from South Australia, you'll know Keith Conlon. He's a bit of an Adelaide personality. He was on the radio forever and ever. He's actually a fantastic musician, and he plays with Sarah's uncle quite a lot. Yeah, Keith Conlon. Again, if you know Adelaide, you will know Mr. Conlon. He's a lovely man, a very, very lovely man. So we'll do a vault on that. So if you can find
Fantastic.
something
So
similar,
what's it called? Hold it up again.
it's called
It's called
Adelaide Remember When?
The
The
Boomer
Boomer
Stories.
Stories.
Oh.
So possibly some people are like,
And is
yeah,
that
no, I
Fat
can't
Cat
remember.
on the front?
It's Fat Cat, who I used to, and Patsy Bisco.
Yeah, of
Patsy Bisco.
course.
Yeah.
Famous. Oh, this will be so good, Ben. Unreal.
Yeah,
All
so
right.
we'll do it, and that's Scotty's Motel. Oh, look, there's so many things. There's so many things. So we'll do a bit of a vault on that. We'll do an Adelaide
Oh,
special. Is that
I
okay?
would love that because I reckon if you show me what is on the table of contents, I'll pick out a couple and you can.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Not now. Yeah.
Oh, sorry, not when. Not now.
What?
Just hang on. I'm just finding the contents. Just a sec.
Yeah.
What did you
No.
say?
Yeah. Boomer.
I'm such a boomer.
This has been a really
Oh,
good podcast, Ben, and it's been really nice to kind of bust some of those myths about,
yeah.
So now we do know that most people wear black. They'll wear a puffer jacket. They'll talk about their favourite football club. They'll be
Yes.
walking somewhere, and we'll be at the Vic Market buying some prawns, which we are having for dinner tonight. They're straight from the Vic
Oh,
Market. So yeah,
oh my God! I didn't mention the Vic Market, but I did have that on my list. Yeah,
yeah,
absolutely.
yeah.
And in Adelaide, we'll just be eating Fritz and Avery shocks and just walking into Stobie poles because we're too busy looking down at our bung Fritz and admiring all the when we should be looking up, admiring the beautiful sandstone buildings and beaches.
So anyway, how about we do the wrap up, Ben? You take it away because I've lost my spot.
Oh, look, absolutely. So stay tuned because Chris, the episode, our Christmas episode with Tim Bone will be next after this one. Tim, such a lovely guy. He listens to the show. We did pre-record that one a few weeks ago, but it's a very Christmassy ep. We talk all things Christmas, and
So
Tim
good.
and his family love Christmas. So that's going to be really, really good. And then we'll do a bit of a wrap-up podcast before the end of the year. So please follow us on Instagram and Facebook. You can listen or watch us on YouTube. Subscribe, leave a comment. We do love to hear from you. It actually really makes our day when people leave comments.
Yeah,
And even if you just comment on a Facebook post, we're like, we just get some love.
we
Absolutely love it.
do.
So stay
Yeah.
in touch and maybe even give us suggestions for episodes next year.
Oh yeah, that'd be
I
good.
just
Put the
thought of that.
call out. Yeah. Oh look,
Yeah.
I can see the lights winning off in your
Absolutely.
brain then. That'd be great. Yeah, if there's something or someone that you would like us to get back onto the podcast, or if you've got a topic, yeah, why not? Send your suggestions through because it'll go in the mailbag and then we'll open the mailbag.
And why should we create content? We're just going to make you do it for us.
Well, my mum's always good for content, so
Oh yeah.
oh
Actually,
yeah.
Reed had a really good one, but I'm going to save it. It might be
Okay,
a good
yeah.
vault. It'd be a good vault, yeah.
All
Because we
right.
know your Holden and car knowledge is just like A grade. It's a bit
Yeah.
of a follow up to that.
Yeah. All
Stay
right,
tuned.
fantastic. All right.
All right.
Thanks for listening, everyone, and we'll see you again
Thank you
next
so
time.
much. All right. See you later.